George Johnson. And,
Okay, wait. Start again.
Okay. My name is George Johnson. I am the president of the Friends of Broderick Park and also Buffalo United Front. I got involved with the project here at Broderick Park as an angler because I'm a fisherman, been fishing down here since I was a kid. And a group of people came to me while we was fishing and asked did I wanted to be involved into redoing the park. At that time, the park wasn't done. And I said, sure, maybe I'll just get involved because there was some things that I was concerned with all the time in terms of being down in the park and just as an angler to see the conditions a little better. Never knew it was the Underground Railroad. I just was down here because it was good fishing. So as I got involved, a lot of things began to happen, things opened up, and I started learning about a number of things about the park. And I said, oh wow, this is awesome. And at that point, there was some proposals to do some things to redo the park. So I said, okay, well, I'll get involved. And they came up with a name that called Friends of Broderick Park, which consists of a number of different business people in the neighborhood, community people, politicians and all of that. And we all came together to say, well, let's come up with a plan to how we would be able to change how the park looked. So we decided to do that. We worked for years to put those things in place. And as we was moving in the direction, we was able to meet a lot of people that had the same concerns. And then we was able to get involved with a lot of historians that was involved with different things in terms of the park, in terms of Broderick Park. So I was able to we came across Miss Lillian Batchelor, which is one of the historians, and she used to do reenactments down here. And after 9/11, they stopped her from doing the reenactments down here, and it was between her and the Buffalo Quarters organization, which they was involved in. They the one that came and brought us a lot of history to the Friends of Broderick Park to let us know that this wasn't just a fisherman's park, because we used to just say, well, we're going to fish it, because we just called it for the ferry. And she said to me, and she looked me straight in my eye, she said, son, you will not call this a fisherman's park. This park has so much significant history when it comes to being the Underground Railroad. And I said, are you serious? And then she began to talk about, and then we did some planning and whatnot to tell us about the history of the park. And then from that point, we just began to working together to change the way that the park looked, to get it redone, things of this nature. Of course, they older in terms of Miss Batchelor, and her group was much older, so it was almost like passing the torch in the sense of from where they left off. We just kind of tried to continue to bring some energy back to letting people know how significant this park is and the fact that it is sacred ground. So from that particular point, we just began to work and just tried to make the best of what we could with the park in itself. And then from there, some things came up. The mayor and a few other people got involved in terms of bringing money to the park and whatnot. And then that's how it became to the point of where it's at. After that point, when it was dedicated, I think in 2013 or 16, somewhere around in there, there was not really a lot paying attention to the park. And so it had come to the point where there wasn't a lot of things that was happening and things that needed to happen in the park. So we seen that after we kind of walked away from it being done, and then we had to come back. So the Friends of Broderick Park reconvened, and we came back and we reorganized, and then we came up with a nonprofit, 501c3, things of this nature, because we seen that in order for us to take it to the next level of where things need to go, that we had to, first of all, organize and become nonprofit so that we can qualify to be able to apply for different things that's necessary for us to continue those many things that we still want to look forward to doing. This particular museum which we call it the seed. It's something that we looking forward to expanding, and we want to put a museum on Niagara Street that's bigger and that would have more information in it in terms of really telling the story. Because the information that's here, it's a start of what's needed, but there's still yet a lot of work to do in order to continue telling the story pertaining to the Underground Railroad. So that's where we're at this point in terms of just trying to bring those people back to the table that's necessary to take us to the next point and level where we need to go. We try to collaborate and partner with as many people as possible that can tell the story and that's about the story. We have done and communicated with Niagara Falls and the Michigan Corridor, the Michigan Baptist Church. So there's so many different organizations that's doing different things in small pockets. But I'm trying to bring them together to say, listen, let's collaborate and bring whatever energy that each one of our groups have, and then we can be able to move this narrative to the next level even better and faster of all of us working together to make these things happen. So that's where we at this point, just to get people to see. So we came up with the idea last year about the event because we always know that music and food is always something that people love to do and they're attracted to. So we decided last year, we said, we'll just try some things, bring some people to the park. We did it on a Wednesday. Lo and behold, we had a few people come down. And then this year we decided, okay, we had a little success from that. Let's try Wednesday and Sunday. But one thing that we vowed, we said, well, we'll just try to make it a little bigger. We was just playing music with a DJ last year. This year, we vowed to use the amphitheater and to have a band play every week in addition to a DJ. So that had just blown up very quickly, and we called it Healing by the Water, which with the massacre that happened in Buffalo, that just brought things in which we had planned the Healing by the Water before the massacre even happened. So all that was already in the plan in terms of what we was doing. So from that point, we just, every week, we try to, on Thursday and Sunday, have some type of event to bring people down, to educate them about the park, tell them the purpose and the reason why they're here. A lot of people come here, never even knew it exists. A lot of people come here, first time ever coming into the museum, ever coming to the park in itself. And we have a lot of people that's very inquisitive about this whole thing, especially white people. A lot of people from out of town. Our issue, or not issue, our challenge is to how do we keep this park open 7 days a week? How do we keep the bathroom and the museum open 7 days a week? I don't know if you noticed, they do have some porta potties around, but you coming from out of town, how do you feel about going in a porta potty and whatnot? And we don't feel good about that at all. But there used to be a concessionist that was here, which was Rich Products, which they pull out of the concession, and we're in the process of trying to figure possibly for next year how we can possibly have the concession open, separate the concession from the museum and the facility, and then we move in another direction. So
now let me ask you a question. Are you part of National Network to Freedom? Yes. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Are you affiliated with any other organizations that are working on Underground Railroad across Western or Central New York?
You kind of, sort of. Like I said, we do, and we have communicated with Terry Alford from the Michigan Corridor, and we do have some type of relationship with the Michigan Avenue Church that's down on Michigan also. So we have some communication in a sense, but I'm trying to, and we had some communication with Niagara Falls. I'm trying to create a collaboration of actually working together and whatnot. So when things is going on, just say for instance, I found out about you, it was like, oh, okay, why I'm just finding out that way? and this thing that they're doing now, we need to be in more communication with each other, especially if we're talking the same language. And that's my issue is, and I tell people all the time, look past me, don't see me, and let's just look at the people. Because I'm just the servant at this point, coming to the next place, and there's somebody behind me that I have to teach and show them, because what we want to do in terms of a museum, it may not happen while I'm alive, but at least it begins.
Is Miss Batchelor?
Miss Batchelor is older.
Okay.
I think she's 88 years old. One thing that she always wanted, back even when we first started this, was she wanted to see kids running in the park and the park being utilized a lot better. And she was able to see that because we do a fishing program also every year, which is our 15th year that we do for the kids. We let the kids come and fish. If they don't have a fishing rod, we teach them how to fish, give them a fishing rod, things of this nature. So she was able to this year come down and actually see this park filled with kids. That was back in June. And then she also got a chance to see, we had a bike ride that we sponsored down here, and she's seen so many kids, and she was overwhelmed about the whole. She was so happy that she was able to see this, especially at the age that she's at. We don't communicate as much, but we still stay in contact with each other pertaining to different things because she's much older. We was trying to get some of her family members involved because she do have a garden that's actually named after her, that's over there, that needs to be, more taken care of, maintained better, things of this nature. And that's something we was trying to see how we can get her family more involved in terms of making sure they take care of. But like I said, our volunteer group, we do a lot in terms of, trying to make sure that the park is maintained, making sure that we continue to try our best to work with the city in terms of letting them see and know how important it is for them to take better care of the park.
Have you encountered any descendants that are here in Buffalo?
Yes, we have. We actually ran into the descendant of Broderick, the guy Broderick, and he was very mad that his descendant was their name was on the Underground Railroad as an enslaved park, and they was very upset about that. They didn't know, and they found that out later. And then we have some descendants from St. Catherine's. I don't know if you know Sharon West. Sharon West is a historian that used to work with the Buffalo Quarters and Miss Batchelor. And then I think it's a judge. It's a few people that we find that descendants. As a matter of fact, I was here the other day and a young lady came here. She's actually a descendant, and she was like, she just came here and busted out crying because she's seen a lot of stuff that, because she had did that, what's that thing, they searched the family tree, family stuff.
Ancestry.
And she with the ancestry, she came around like you guys, and she was walking around, the place was closed. She was like, and I said, you look like you need to see something. And I opened the door and she just came here and busted out crying when she began to look and see her family. She talked a lot about her grandmother and grandfather, especially she took after her grandmother, and she was trying to figure why, and she's actually married to a white man, and they came in here and it was like, oh my God, so, we just try to do the best, try to tell the story. We do have a lot of historians that come down, especially during the events, and they come and help us tell the story and different things. Sharon Holly has a group. There's a number of Joanne Peters. There's a number of different historians that still come, and we partner with them. And they're part of telling the story, and we just all try to do what we can to educate people, especially our kids, in terms of what's happening. And we just do what we do.